and have our feet being sucked up into the vortex. And while we're doing that, we can jerk off. So Ed and his husband, apparently in each end, double teaming him like this, if you can imagine that, right?
We've kind of convinced each other somehow that we're just getting a drink of water. So we're at the water fountain for 2 hours, or maybe 3 hours.
It's so sick, dude. You're fucking sick, bro.
Velcro cuffs on his, around his wrist and around his feet, and so he wanted to have that kind of an experience. I mean, I didn't beat him or anything, but I just.
I got something much more interesting here. What's this? How long is it?
None.
Okay, this will do. I'm not gay, but I cheat on my wife with men.
These guys would identify as gay. We are just guys who identify as straight, who like sexual contact with men.
Welcome back to Other People's Lives. I'm Joe Santagato. I'm Greg Dybeck. For anyone out there that would like to be a guest on our show, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us an email and we'll get back to you. Yeah. And
I didn't give you permission to post me like this. There's also people saying, this is you, Chud. This is you. This is you.
sometimes the show is best when we're just speaking to a guest who wants to get a secret off their chest and talk about something that no one in their life knows about. In this case, we're speaking to a man who reached out. He's married to a woman. He has grandchildren, but he is sleeping with men on the side. So he's here to talk all about this secret that he has. And we've got the guest on the line. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you just sort of recap the email that you sent us where you just sort of explained this situation that you're in, that your wife and nobody else knows about?
Well, let's see, it's been at least 25 years. And so I don't even know how it got, I know how it got started. It got started once when I was looking through Craigslist. And I saw a lot of men for men kind of.
Bro, you saw that Craigslist advert about the guy, dude, there's so many of these different Freddy Crazy. Remember the one where it's about jerking off into a storm? That's probably my favorite Craigslist advert. Dude, that is a classic. Craigslist jerking off into storm. Remember this one? Oh my... Okay. I just... Oh my god, dude. Do not Google Craigslist jerking off into storm if you don't want to see a bunch of gay porn. Okay? Do not type that into Google unless you want to see a lot of cocks. And let's just very carefully share these. Okay? I'm looking for a jerk-off bud with a twist. M for M, 59. 59-year-old retired male looking for a discreet bud to meet regularly for jerk-off only. Straight guys only, no gay stuff. Hairier plus on stomach and chest, but please be clean-shaven down there. The twist is that I want a bud who can come live with me during storm season so we can go outside and jerk off during a tornado. My ultimate fantasy is to have us tied with leather belts to pipes like Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton at the end of the movie Twister and have our feet being sucked up into the vortex. And while we're doing that, we can jerk off. Possible handjob exchange to climax into the vortex. Obviously, this is impossible and dangerous to attempt, so I'd be okay with just jerk off looking at a tornado. Let's meet up and find out if you're the regular jerk-off bud I need for the job. No reply without a face and dick pics. Are you man enough? Well, are you? And this is another classic Craigslist ad. This is another absolute classic. The crystal I wear around my neck.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Dude.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
The old memes still live. Pinch
Yo!
fingers emoji.
Thank you for the $20. Thank you. The crystal I wear around my neck contains an essence that gets recharged when I jack it with a bro who also has a crystal. It gives me confidence at work, home, social situations, etc. Nobody knows it's a jerk-off crystal but me and my bros. I have seen it glow while jerking it with a bud. That's how I know this is real. You can come over for as long as you want, but I need a picture of you, preferably wearing a crystal, before I waste my time. Dude, I don't know whether these are trolls or not, but they're still so funny, man. It's so good, dude. There's loads of these ads, bro. I think this is probably the subreddit for it or something. But anyway, he saw a few too many of those ads.
Advertisements, and a lot of them said they were married, and so I had never seen that before, and so it kind of intrigued me, and so I responded to one of those messages, and I had a guy respond back, and we met up that morning, and the rest is history.
Was that the first time that you had experimented with men?
No, not at all. In high school, when I played football, there was a couple of guys on our team that I experimented with. There were little dalliances, as when I was in college. In college, it kind of got a little bit out of control because we had a restroom where you could, if you went to the restroom, it was on the lower level of one of the buildings, and not a lot of traffic was down there, and so it made it easy to invite somebody into a stall.
So,
next to you.
Do you identify as gay or bisexual?
I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't identify as either. I just identify as straight. What I've told myself the last, year since I was a teenager, I do enjoy women. I enjoy the way they feel, the way they smell, the way they make love, and all of that. But sometimes,
Yeah, dude, true. Is this Caleb Hammer on the line? This has got to be Caleb Hammer.
I get just a really intense craving to be around a guy, and not just be around a guy, but to feel him, to hold him, to have him on top of me, to have me on top of him. And it's not just, and it pretty much is just sexual. It's not like I'm seeking a romantic romance with this person. And so that's what makes finding married men so much easier, because they're not looking for a relationship at all.
I'm into women. I just have a gay sex fetish. I mean, this is obviously cope, dude. If you're having gay sex, guys, crazy take. If you're having gay sex, you're bisexual at the very least, okay?
They have a relationship with their wives, just like I have a relationship with my wife. And so I do have 2 or 3 guys that I do see on a regular basis. And we have a strict, no identification policy. If I see him at the mall, or if I'm out with my wife in a restaurant and I happen to see him, it's as if I don't even see him. It's as if we don't even know each other. And we've gotten...
I was going to say, how often is regularly? Like, how often do you see them?
Dude, oh my god, dude. Styler on my ass again. Chud, mind your footing. Mind your standing on solid ground. What are you... Dude. Oh, but Chud. What about all the gawk that you chased back in the day? What has this got to do with me, bro? Dude, I'm not sat here thinking, I want to fuck a man right now. No, dude, this has nothing to do with me. I'm not into any of this fucking... This shit's nuts, dude. Like, what are you on about?
Before the pandemic, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and maybe...
Dude, what relevance is my sexuality to you, to anyone in chat, in fact? Why is Stylo so concerned with pinning down my sexuality? Very interesting dynamic there, I must say.
Multiple guys, and most of the time, we played safe. But once I started having like a regular pool of guys,
I just want some honesty. Well, here's the honesty. My sexuality is literally none of your fucking business. What's it got to do with any of you? Dude, I could be going out tonight and sucking 20 gocks. And it would be literally none of your fucking business if that was the case. Okay? So, think what you want. I don't care.
I didn't really worry about playing safe so much, and neither did they. We were tested regularly, and that always played out just fine. So I really admit I've been really lucky to have that many years and not have any kinds of issues like that. Of course, if I did, that would be a dead giveaway.
Wow.
Right.
So you identify as straight. You, I guess, always knew that you wanted to marry a woman, but when you married your wife, were you still sleeping with men, or was there a period when you
I'm
first
just
got...
sick of people being nosy. Yes, obviously there was a very embarrassing revelation for me back in 2021. Yes, we all know about the drama, okay? But it's made it seem like people have got a right to know all about my fucking personal sexuality interest. But no, it doesn't actually. It doesn't. My private life is my private life. And I will do as I see fit with my private life and tell you nothing about it. Because it's literally nothing to do with any of you, okay?
got married that you hadn't been with any men?
There was a period that when we first got married.
I'm pansexual.
I'd say for about 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years, when we were starting a family, that I didn't sleep with men.
Was your intention to just stay married, stay faithful, and never see other men, or did you always think that it might pop up again in your life?
Gok spark confirmation.
Well, I didn't really think of it that way. I just thought, I enjoy my wife. We're building a family. We're having kids. The feelings, the emotions, the
I will say this as well. I will say this too with clarity. Okay? If I was married, okay? If I was married and I was going out and fucking men, it would be completely reasonable to say I was bisexual or gay. Yes, obviously. Like, what an insane claim that you're straight. You're not straight, bro. You're not straight. I remember a long time ago, right, back when I used to work in like an office, there was this gay fella called Ed, okay? And Ed, when we went out for like work drinks, would often share tales about the crazy stuff he did with him and his husband, because gays are totally degenerate sex people who will just fucking do anything, right? And he was saying about this one time that him and his husband were in a hotel or something, and they found some fella off Grindr to come around to the hotel room, okay? Right? And basically, this guy rocks up, okay? You're very funny. Oh, you're talking about... Dude, you people are so fucking predictable, okay? So anyway, this guy turns up, okay? So Ed and his husband, apparently in each end, one in the mouth, one in the shithole, okay? Double teaming him like this, if you can imagine that, right? Anyway, this fella that's getting double-ended by these two fellas claims that he's straight. He's like, no, I'm straight, okay? Claims he's straight. Just wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. Just wanted to have some fun with the lads. Like, it does happen. People have got this perception of themselves as being straight, despite engaging in homosexual sex. And, like, not just, like, a little bit, like, full-on double-ended by two fellas. I mean, that is gay. That is pure gay. What is this fucking cope, dude, that you're straight? So it's like, I don't know, I just don't understand the kind of cope of this person saying, oh, well, I'm straight, I just like fucking guys sometimes. Like, what's the problem with just saying, saying you're bisexual? Why do you need to do this, like, bravado cope of, no, actually, I'm straight? Doesn't make any sense, especially as he's calling in anonymously too. Actions
that I'm having, I will just deal with them and lay them aside. And so for 7 years I did. But then we moved out of the area where we were to a whole other town.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
What is it from? What show is that from?
And that's where I discovered the Craigslist ads. And from that day on, I've always had jobs that gave me the freedom to work at home or to work remotely or to, to work out of town. And so it was very easy to have the house to myself, maybe 3 or 4 days a week, maybe maybe
Law and
5 days a
Order,
week.
SVU.
And if I
Okay.
knew I was going to have it 5 days a week, and if I was really feeling needy, I mean, I could see 4 or 5 guys
In 5 days, you mean?
in one day.
Oh, in one
wow.
day. And this is happening in your own home?
It's happening in our home.
And so you said 25 years of this, and your wife has never like come close to finding out what's happening?
No.
Wow.
Never given her any reason to. She wouldn't know. She wouldn't suspect.
So I can understand part of this is...
Dude, the thing is, if you heard the wife come in, right, and it's just a fella, and she's got no clue, you could probably just act like it's your mate, Quickly slip your clothes on. I mean, you could even probably stay in the bedroom, slip some underwear on or something, and probably play it off. Because, a wife would probably be like, oh, this is the bros being bros. What's the problem? Just hanging about in the bedroom in the underwear? Nothing untoward happening here.
satisfying this urge for you, but
Yeah.
does any part of you feel bad that you're having such consistent affairs, essentially?
We're just comparing workout
guess
notes.
because I enjoy it, and the guys that I'm with, they really enjoy it, and the mindset is the same. We've kind of convinced each other somehow that we're just getting a drink of water. We're at the water fountain for 2 hours or maybe 3 hours.
It's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I see it. I'm really thirsty. I just need a glass of water. And the guy that I'm meeting, he's, of course, there's a lot of maybe there's 3 or 4 emails back and forth before somebody comes over, because I want to make sure that in the town where we live, we're both very visible, and so I want to make sure that I'm not inviting somebody over who's like the principal of the school,
Right.
and I would recognize him and he would recognize me. That would be terrible.
So to this day, you're still meeting up with, men you don't really know. I mean, you have these 3 or 4 that you said that you see regularly, but you're still finding new people.
Well,
Insatiable thirst for various cocks, yes.
right before the pandemic, the Craigslist, those kinds of ads went away. And so there's other things like double list and just like sometimes word of mouth. So it curtailed my activity for a while. And of course, then COVID slipped in. And so I completely stopped. But since COVID has been, diminished to some degree, I probably see maybe 4 or 5 guys. And most of them are not new. Most of them are guys that I know, I've been with for 10, 15 years. And we keep it, we're kind of silly because every time I open the door, I never know the scenario that we're going to play. They may say, hey, Bob, my lawnmower stopped working. Can I take a look at your lawnmower because it's the exact same as mine? Oh, yeah, come on in, Larry. And so we do this whole scenario, where we're doing this pretending thing, and we just kind of act out. We move the play around to, hey, would you like to go to the basement and have a beer before you go back and mow? You're looking pretty hot. Sure, yeah, I will. Yeah, take off your shirt. You know what? We can hang it over here to dry out. And then there we go.
So there's a lot of role playing involved in these interactions.
Yeah, especially since the pandemic was lifted, it's a lot of it, a lot more than previously. There was always some, because some guys just like to do that. And I was never like that before, but I found it to be kind of fun also. I have a couple of guys that will write out a whole script that they want to use.
Wow.
And want me to use.
Now, when you have sex with your wife, is there any similar sort of role play?
Oh, dude. Okay, this is actually fucked, man. So he's fucking these guys. Is he at least wearing protection or something, bro? Dude. And what's going on with the wife? Is he's gonna give her fucking AIDS or some shit?
Or is that not the case? So is that sort of a whole other sexual experience that you're getting fulfilled with the guys?
It is. It's a whole different. My sexual experiences with my wife they are just as satisfying. They are just as they're actually more intimate, because there's not a lot of intimacy with the guys. There's a lot of friendship kind of thing going on, but it's not like I'm falling in love with you, or this is bringing us closer, or I feel like this is making us one. Whereas with my wife, those are the kinds of feelings and the emotions that I have. But I have found that not only myself, but other guys
Sadly, you're raped.
have the
Same
same
with the gigs.
urge and desire to have the contact that we would have with our wives, but just have it with a guy.
It's really interesting because majority of these men like you are married to women with children, and I
Bro, it's so nuts that there's this town and there's all these fellas that are married that are all fucking each other on the side. What the actual fuck, bro?
identifying as straight.
All of them have been married. Not one gay identifying person ever. Everybody, the first thing I look for is a wedding ring, and they all have a wedding ring, and they all look and dress and act like they're married. They talk about things that married guys talk about, maybe without giving away a lot of their personal information. They'll talk about the kids and the neighborhoods they live in, and how we have to be very discreet, and maybe if this works out, we can meet up again. We have those kinds of conversations, and you would be surprised that the guys that knock on the door, they are white collar guys who are professors at universities. They are people in the medical field. They are people who work at the Jiffy Lube. There are people who work at a construction site who on their lunch was reading it and then decided to come over. They're guys who, it goes across the board. You cannot tell. You would not know this guy in his three-piece suit who is able to get away for 3 hours because he's the manager in his office, or because he's the CEO.
Just nipping out the office to get my cock sucked by a bro. I mean, this is like, I don't know. I'm not like an anti-gay person at all. I'm not like, oh my God. If they want to do it, good luck to them. It's all behind closed doors, all consenting adults, as they say, so no problem. It's just bizarre that you're trying to claim that you're straight when you literally got a mouthful of another guy's cock every fucking day, it seems, or however regularly he's doing this.
So his absence from work is not questioned. He could be having a business lunch. He could be meeting up with somebody for a lot of reasons, and that's how it was with me too.
Wow. So
that's how I always had the time.
You think this sounds like a bullshit story? I mean, this is plausible, no? It's plausible that there's guys like this. Dude, what about the straight guys in the gay saunas? You familiar with that concept? Dude, you need to speak to more gay people in your life, okay? Then you'll start to understand that why this is so fucking plausible. But yeah, there's people that think they're straight that go to a gay sauna to get sucked off or suck off another guy and think they're straight. It's like a cope. You're the expert. Guys, there's only one way that we can find out, okay? Dude, there's actually a bit in Nathan Barley about this. Remember when Dan Ashcroft investigates the stray? It's called the stray scene. Straight guys who are gay. And then he goes and jerks off someone in a toilet.
Right.
So it's just a bunch of straight guys having sex with each other.
It is. It really is. A lot of straight married guys with kids.
Why have you never considered identifying as gay or bisexual? Like, why only label yourself as straight?
I don't know. It's never been anything that I felt like I needed to identify as, or I needed to come out for, or anything like that. Plus I have I guess part of it is I don't think I would be identifying myself as gay because of the kind of life that I want to live.
What does that mean?
The great jobs in the six figures, great house, send my kids to Europe on vacation for 4 weeks every year. My wife and I would take vacations. And I just, in the environment that I've always circled in, a lot of that would go away, I think. The job may not.
Right.
But at the time that I started, things weren't even as open as they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't even mean publicly identify, but even just for yourself.
Dude. The two issues I've got. Well, the first issue is not an issue. It's just like, why are you coping about not being gay? The second issue with this, it's not even like the cheating, right? The cheating is not really the fundamental issue here. It's you're putting your wife's sexual health at tremendous risk. Okay. If we move past the woke brainwashing, right? The woke retard brainwashing of the situation, gay people do have a higher risk of sexually transmitted illnesses, okay? Particularly stuff like AIDS. They're more rampant among the gay community, which is linked to the heightened promiscuity in gay communities. They're hypersexual F slurs, as someone once said. So you are just creating tremendous risk for your wife. Even if you're wearing protection, it's still like something she should be aware of so that she can at least agree to the dynamic. You know? It is totally outrageous to participate in this and put your wife at this risk and she's got no clue it's happening. It's, yeah, fucked up, man. Fucked up for her. She could get AIDS, bro. Not even joking. She could literally get full-blown AIDS off of this. It's fucked up.
I don't need to. I'm fine just identifying as who I am.
Okay. And also, you said earlier that this started because you were reading like these Craigslist postings, but that kind of went away. So are you putting up postings now and like kind of inviting people, inviting these men over in some way? And what do you do to attract these men with these like postings?
Well, the typical, yes, I have. As a matter of fact, last week I posted 2 times, and I met up with, and I had never met up with these guys before. They were both married. One had teenagers, the other had adult children. They're very, very successful in their jobs. And I'll put, to get their attention, I'll put something like married man seeking male contact with another married guy. This is what I like. This is what I like to do. Tell me what you like to do. Tell me what you don't like to do. tell me where you live within, a certain radius to where I'm living. And then if
how does he explain the granules of poo lodged in his foreskin when his wife gives him a blowy? Dude. Her greedily gobbling down his cock and then, it's a bit of a foul odour, a bit of a bitter taste coming up. What's going on? What's that about? I'm so sick, dude. You're fucking sick, bro. It only smells. Oh my god. Who knows that one? Dude, Jay Keith, I've not seen you for a while. Come back to drop the "it only smells" comment. Fucking hell, dude.
If they contact me back, and they usually do, and they usually share that information, most of the times there's no pictures that are traded. Every now and then there'll be a guy who's very very needy, and maybe he's gone a long time without any contact, and so to make sure that he gets to come over, he might send a picture. So like, look at me, I'm a normal guy. I'm not a crazy guy, and I've never had any incident that has happened at my house that would make me feel it's unsafe. And I live in this delusional world where my neighborhood, my community is really there's no place is safe. And I'm not pretending that where I live is super safe, because tragedy happens everywhere, but it's a neighborhood of high earners, pretty straight-laced guys, and so when you get somebody like that, those are the kind of guys that would answer the ad,
Answer the call.
And how do you hide this from your neighbors even? I mean, are they walking straight up to the front door? Like, are people not noticing that?
Yeah, they're walking up to the front door. Well, it's not like there's a parade of men.
Right.
Like, maybe somebody will come at 7:30, and then they'll leave. Maybe that guy has a suit and a tie, a really nice suit and a tie. He might even have on a Rolex watch. And then maybe around 11 or 12 is when the guys who work on construction sites usually
that's wonderful.
will answer
But how
the
do I
ad,
make
and they'll
money
come.
off depressed people?
I call the brown ball formed from insertion a depend dot.
Thank you, Diminished Darkner, for the $20. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, and also the other thing from earlier, too, that he's now explaining is multiple men a day. How many loads does this guy store on his balls? Bro, what the fuck, dude? Or maybe it's not every time. Maybe morning it's his turn. Maybe in the middle of the day it's their turn. I don't know. How does it work?
And they'll wear their tool belts. So if my neighbor were to see them, and most of our neighbors are not home, because like I said, it's a high earning neighborhood, so husbands and wives are gone from their from their home, so they wouldn't ever see me. I did have a neighbor next door, but she was elderly, and so she would.
His wife slaving away at work while he sucks and fucks the local gays.
She would not. It wouldn't have been noticeable for her.
Right.
So the guy with the tool belt, he could be coming doing something at my house. No one would know. And then somewhere after lunch, the guy who is a manager or a department head or some kind of accountant, where he can have a little fluidity with his schedule. He might tap into me and say, "Hey, are you free today? Yes or no?" Actually, no, I'm not even in the state today. I'm traveling, or and so then I'll get back to him when I get back home, and maybe that will be 2 weeks out. So I will say it's not as active as it used to be, only because people's lives change, people's schedules change, people's desires change.
If your wife were to find out, how do you think she would react?
Oh, she would be so angry. She wouldn't be angry about the acts. She'd be angry about the lie and the deceit. That's what would, because that would make her look stupid, or her head buried in the sand, and she's none of those things. She's a very smart, bright, high earning, intelligent person, but like I said before, I give her no reason to
Bro,
ever
this
think
is
about
so
it or
fucked,
wonder
man.
about it. She comes home and I've been home, everything is fine. I might be either
Sadly,
cooking dinner
you're
or have a load
right.
of laundry in.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the kicks. I think this is a LARP. Is it? Dude, I don't know why people think this guy's like. This is quite plausible. He's probably obviously stating it over excessively. I doubt it's every single day there's all these guys coming round. But yeah, it's a plausible story.
And may have, fuck 3 guys.
How do you so where does this usually happen? I mean, you mentioned the basement, so it's like you have to clearly clean up after this sort of thing and make sure there's no anything left behind. Like,
Yeah. And sometimes we even have to sometimes we'll have to take a shower.
yeah,
And I have a large basement that's like, I don't know, 1,700 square feet, and there's a full bath, a bedroom, bed, sheets, towels, a living room area, all of that. And with just my wife and I being at home now, we really never have any reason. She doesn't even have any reason to go down there unless somebody is going to come from out of town and spend the night with us. But in the meantime, I've cleaned up. I've had lots of years to make sure that there's nothing left behind. One time, one of my regular buddies, he brought over this thing where it straps in the corner of the mattresses, and you put Velcro cuffs around his wrist and around his feet. And so he wanted to have that kind of an experience. I mean, I didn't beat him or anything, but I just.
Dude, he's doing BDSM with other guys down at the basement. Wifey's none the wiser, but he's not gay. Don't call him gay. He's straight as they come. Fucking hell, dude. Gay BDSM now. What the fuck?
We just spent lots of physical contact with him in that position. And then when he was done and he left, I forgot to take that off of the bed. And so my wife would have went down there and she would have thought, what is this thing that's hooked to our bed downstairs? But luckily I got to it before she was able to go down there. Put it in my pocket and then I threw it in the garbage.
is this something that you think you'll keep up sort of forever?
Yeah, you're taking this to your grave?
Yeah, because it sounds like I mean, the way that you described it is your wife would be pretty devastated. So does that ever make you feel like, you know what, eventually I'm not going to do this anymore, or is it something that at this point is just part of who you are as a person and how you're going to live your life?
I know that I can go without doing it for a significant amount of time. Like during the pandemic, we both were working from home, and one of our adult kids came and lived at home too. And still, all 3 of us were quarantined. I'm not going to have the guy with the tool belt knocking on the front door and saying, "Let's go down to the basement and look at my water heater." So no, so I know I can't go without it. And there are times where I will plan something, and it could be in solid, but I'll feel like, you know what, I shouldn't do this today. So I listen to my gut a lot. And if I do, I just need to text one word to whoever it is who's coming. It's not going to work, or something like that.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I go out and have a few drinks, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. I'm getting older, and that's getting harder for me. But that's why I use Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. It's
Hold
the
on,
world's
Reed.
first genetically engineered probiotic.
I found the guy hosting the AIDS chamber events. What the fuck? I'm just blown away, but this guy.
And
It's
let me tell
crazy.
you, it is the answer that I've been looking for. It was actually invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings the night after drinking.
Okay. Listen, I want to get to my gaming stream, so I'm going to skip this. Sorry.
Able
It's
to
not.
transition pretty
Sorry,
easily
no.
back into the husband/father role.
It really isn't a turn on. It's actually, you know, it's risky behavior and it's a little bit scary in a way, but not in a makes me hornier sort of way. Just I never want to get caught sort of way. I don't see myself doing this maybe 2 or 3 years from now. I could see where I would, you know, where things would, you know, where people are kind of aging out. You know, 'cause in the beginning, we were in our, you know, mid-30s and younger. Some of them were college students, and so kind of age out, and people get different jobs and they move. So I would say maybe 2 or 3 more years, and maybe not. I don't know. It just depends. It depends on, you know, how well I can control.
If your wife were to find out and ultimately you guys get separated, what do you think your life looks like then?
Really lonely, because she would definitely
Lonely?
tell her kids,
Right.
and they would
Lonely? Dude, it's going to be a fucking cock carousel. You're good to go.
and they would totally freak out. And 2 of my children have very high profile jobs where you would recognize them in print, and so to have their father, you know, in something that scandalous would just be devastating to them.
Right.
But I don't foresee that.
Dude, the story's plausible, but some of these details sound outrageous, dude. You got 2 kids that are famous enough that you'd recognize their name. Really?
happening. Of course, I don't foresee it, but I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, it just seems like there's so much like riding on
It's
this
Rob
like, every
Rayner.
single time that you kind of have done it. I'm just curious, like, why you choose to keep going back to it if there's like gigantic ramifications if this ever, God forbid, gets out.
Say that again.
I'm just wondering, like, because you're saying like your children, you know, your life would be very lonely if, you know, this had got out. Your wife would probably separate from you. Your children, who knows how they react, and their jobs and everything. And then, you know, the life you want to live. I'm curious, like, what is the reason why you keep going back to this if there's potentially a huge negative downside to this?
That's how, you know, like giving up smoking or overeating or anything that we do that becomes, you know, I'm going to use the word compulsive and obsessive, but that doesn't really define it. I would say when your desires are so strong that for that touch, for that smell of a guy when he's stopping by after he's been at the gym all morning for a couple hours. And if he's going to do that, I definitely tell him, I'm not going to wear deodorant. I don't want you to wear any deodorant either. Just come as you are. Sweaty and all. Don't shower there.
Oh my god, dude. He wants the cock musk. I think, yeah, he's obviously... I do think this is like a gay sex fetish or something. There's a lot here that makes it like a gay sex fetish.
So that's how intense that desire would be, because it's about being with just another really masculine guy. And none of these guys would identify as gay. None of them have any what would typically be called gay characteristics, or the way they walk and talk and live. Definitely wouldn't put them in a community of gay men. They are, for all intents and purposes, we are just guys who identify as straight, who like sexual contact with men. Sometimes there's kissing, sometimes there's not. It just depends on the guy. Some guys like to kiss, some guys don't like to kiss.
Okay. My last question that I have is, if you were to find out that your wife was doing this, say, with women behind your back, how would you react? Would you be understanding or would you be shocked?
I think without divulging my experiences to her, yes, I would be understanding, because I would understand the need to have that closeness with that gender. And it's really weird. It's not like, and again, it's not like you see a guy walking down the street and you go, that guy's hot, I'd like to fuck him. It's not that way at all. You know, you meet a guy and you just, you're revved up to have contact before you even see a person. So they may be very handsome, they may not be very handsome. Usually looks doesn't play a large part in it, but their physical stature does for me. I like a really strong, well-built, well-maintained guy from head to toe.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up because you had said that most of the time you don't even know what these people look like until they show up.
Yeah.
And
if, go ahead.
I was going to say, and if they show up and you're not necessarily physically attracted to them, has that ever happened?
What has happened is what has happened is someone has shown up and they showed up too late to when my family would be starting to come home, or I sent something about them that seemed unsafe.
Uh-huh.
You know, you do expect somebody to be a little bit nervous. So that's that. And so that you can recognize. But then there's other vibes that people give off, because, you know, the crazy part is I'm inviting this person into my home where my wife's jewelry is, where our...
Dude, how does that not bring about a great sense of shame? Like, that's your space. David Williams got dropped for inappropriate behavior with the female. Yes, I'm aware. I'll cover it tomorrow as part of the opening politics segments. Don't worry. I already know. After this, I'm going to go play some video games anyway once I finish this. But yeah, dude, what a disgusting... This is actually disgusting. Like, to bring them into your home like this. Like, how does it not eat you up inside? Oh, God, it's just grotesque, man. I wish there was a way to let the wife know what was going on. I mean, look. I think if it was like a one-off thing, right? It's like, you know, whatever. It's the fact that it's repeated and continuous. It's ongoing. It's like, he needs to know about it. Her health is at literal risk over this shit, you know? No, what I mean is, if someone called in and said, oh, I cheated on my partner once, what do I fucking care? Right? It's like, whatever. It's more so the continuous nature that makes me think, fuck, she really needs to know about this. Like, it's wrong that it's continuing and she doesn't know, with all these different guys, and her health is at risk. You know? That's the issue. It's like extreme adultery. Yes, exactly.
Electronics are where, you know, sometimes we keep cash in the house.
One-off could be an experiment because of the thoughts beamed by the CIA, but doing it on a weekly is a pretty gay, yes.
But again, I hate to say this, they're not that type of guy. But you know what? You don't know that type of guy, because the guys that I am with are not that type of guy either. And I
sucked a guy's cock once, but it was only because of the CIA mind control experiments they did on me. MK Ultra, but for sucking a guy's cock.
When I say type of guy, I mean someone that you would suspect to be gay. Not even close. And you know what? I think that started when I was in high school, when I played on the football team. Because those two guys that I was having sex on our team, one was a quarterback and one was a running back, and they were as masculine and as rough and tough and hard and as you can be. And no one would have expected them to be, you know, having sex with another guy on the team. And that lasted 2 years.
Wow.
So from my junior year in high school all the way to my first year of college. So 3 years, including the summers.
Yeah.
And sometimes with those two guys, sometimes I'd have sex twice a day with them, maybe 3 times a day.
What?
But again, we were very young and very, you know.
Just young and ready to go.
Is this blowing your mind?
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting that it feels like there's almost, I don't know if community is the right word, but so
There is-
many men out there that are identified. Have you seen the movie Fight Club? It feels like Fight Club, but with like
Yes,
sex.
dude, yes.
And just something that you would never see or people wouldn't talk about, but like they're just, I guess, straight men in life.
Sometimes there would be so many guys to answer my Craigslist ad that I couldn't even keep track of them all. And then I'd get a text from them that would say, "What the fuck, man? I thought I was going to be able to come over." You know, and either I didn't answer
Gay
it, or
sex
I'd
club.
say, sorry, bro, but, you know, I didn't have time.
Yeah, and this is sort of
You know,
just
so-
reaffirming, like we've had
Post
some
Club,
episodes in the
that's
past.
the one,
I remember
Post
the
Club.
spanker, the naked cuddler from like years ago when we first started the show, which, funny enough, we started because we were responding to people's Craigslist ad to get them on the show. So we know what that section was about when it existed. But we would hear a lot of the same. Like, these are men with kids, with wives. Like, they're coming, they're not gay. They're saying they're not gay, but I don't know. They just need to be spanked by another man, like in the middle of their workday.
Bro,
And there could be, I'm not kidding you, at its height, there could be, you know, 8 or 9 guys that would respond to the ad, and I would try to squeeze in as many as I can. Or if I really was still horny or still needy, I don't like to use the word horny, but if I was still needy, I might carry over to the next day. I might find a reason to work from home the next day, and then catch up with not run an ad the next day, but run it, you know, kind of get back.
dude. Well, that really reveals the worst thing of all. This guy was effectively stealing from his own boss. Working from home. Working from home. Not really working from home, though, unless you count sucking cock as working. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
To the people that I didn't get back to. And sometimes when I explain to a guy that, you know, there's already one guy coming over, and he'll say, "Hey, ask him if he minds if I come over too."
For me, the holiday season always means that the days just get a little.
Dude. Are you fucking serious? Fuck, I can't, dude. This is grotesque, man. Holy fuck.
Probably, it would be in the,
Do you think you've had sex with since you've been married?
oh my gosh. Probably, it would be in the thousands.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
Thousands
Well-
of men since.
That's bullshit, dude. That's fucking bullshit. There's no way. That can't be real. That can't be real, man. There's about 9,000 days in 25 years. I doubt that's true. That's embellished.
Sadly, you're raped.
Thank you. Thank you for the kicks. If you did it 2 to 3 times a day, it's possible, but unlikely to me. Possible. It is mathematically possible, but unlikely.
Since you've been married?
It's 25 years. So yeah.
Wow.
And some
That's a
of them-
lot of fucking.
Some of them more than once. Most of them are more than once.
So these are thousands of people.
Let's say in the 25 years that I've lived here in this area, I would say maybe 1,500.
That is
Easy.
a lot of people. I did not expect that.
That
Men,
is a
women,
lot of-
whatever. That's a lot of sex.
And you've managed to like keep this from your wife and also not run into any sort of like STD
No.
trouble or anything like that.
Nope, never.
That's right.
Wow.
And that's, you know, and I realize I've been lucky that way, but all the guys are, you know, that's one of the things that we say in the ad, you know, are you clean? Have you had unprotected sex with some other guy? You know, because if not, we're not going to do that. If you're going to want to do a variety of things, or if I'm going to want to do a variety of things where bodily fluids are going to be exchanged, we need to be upfront about that. And so, you know, what comes back is, dude, I'm married. No, I wouldn't. And that kind of has been the safeguard, because all these guys, like I said, have been married. There's only 2 that I think were not married.
Makes sense. It's like the number one way to get caught. You know, you're like 20 years into a marriage and then all of a sudden you have an STD or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Where did that come from?
Right.
How can you have that?
Has there
And so,
been?
yeah, so
Have you ever had an affair with a woman?
Almost. It was in the workplace though, and she was pursuing me very, very, very heavily. It was kind of scary actually. But I really wouldn't have an affair with a woman because everything I need from a woman, my wife does have.
Right.
There's nothing about her that's undesirable, and there's nothing about
Fucking hell, bro.
my
This is nuts,
physical,
dude.
sexual life with her or intellectual life with her that is undesirable. But set that aside. When I really get needy, I need a guy.
Do you consider
Or
it? Do you consider it to be cheating, or do you sort of classify it as something else because it's not a woman?
I don't know what I classify it as. I know we like to put things in boxes, but I can't with this. Can't really put it in a box because I don't even know why that desire is so intense. And it's not like I'm an odd duck. There's a lot of married guys that seek out pleasure from guys. I've had guys meet up with me who are 60 and 70 years old.
Oh!
70.
70.
Some
Wow.
wrinkly old bollocks dangling about in your face as you try. Oh, God, dude. Fuck me, bro. Dude. Lemon party. Yes, lemon party. Shriveled old cum inside your ass. Yuck.
And they are just fine. We have a very satisfying time.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that is quite a life you're living over there. I mean, I did not expect that number. It sounds like it has to be pretty frequent. And even now, like, I mean, today is Friday. So
Yeah.
has there been a few guys this week?
2 guys this week and 3 guys last week. And the 2 guys last week were the same 2 guys this week and 1 guy that I hadn't seen in a while.
Got it.
Well, we really, really thank you for being so honest with us. I think that's what helps make the show so interesting is to get a perspective like yours and just complete, honesty about your situation and the life that you're living.
And I won't pretend that it's okay. I'm not doing that. I'm not pretending that that it's anything that you would choose to do. But if you're going to do it, it has to be as foolproof as it can be. And probably now is the time to, since things have slowed down since the pandemic, maybe now is the time to live my life not needing that contact. Because it's full-on contact from head to toe. I mean, these guys, we want every part of us caressed and felt. And
Oh my God, dude. It's so gay, dude. It's so gay. Good old sucking.
just a way, like if I have sex with my wife and I'm in a missionary position, when I'm with a guy, I like to feel the weight of his body on top of me.
So it's like you're switching roles.
Not all the time,
Okay.
sometimes, but not all the time. And maybe we'll do both. Both people will do both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Sounds like a lot of
maybe-
creative freedom in this.
Oh, we do. We do. And we've played around a little bit with peeing on each other in the showers and that kind of thing. But, nobody gets really into that because, then you got to take a shower and then why are you using all these towels downstairs? Why is the,
Bro. Gay piss showers. No, not gay actually. Having piss showers with other guys. But it's not gay though. Nothing gay happening here.
why is the mirror foggy in the basement? The one time my wife never goes to the basement, she goes down there looking for something, and the mirror's foggy. How do I explain that? So we keep it. We have a lot of good sexual contact, and I know the average guy can't imagine that. And you know what's even more torturous than that? I have a friend that I've had for 46 years, and I desire to have him so bad. Like in my 20s, when we actually were roommates for a while, and he would walk around without his shirt and just his tiny whities, and he was super masculine, hard, redheaded, freckles, nice feet, legs, thighs, and sometimes I would cry.
You would cry?
yeah, the desire would be, I mean, I wouldn't like just have waterworks, but I would, the feeling would be so intense to have him. And then it's to think, what if I told him that that's what I wanted? And then, you know, it ruined the friendship.
Bro, imagine that, dude. You live with someone and they're just ogling you and you don't even know. Just thirsting for your cock. Oh, God, dude. It's horrible to think about, man. It's not, you don't want that, dude. Bro, gays get away with so much, dude. Right? We're gonna have to do a reverse squad W time. Imagine if this was about a fucking woman, dude. Imagine this was about a woman. You'd be like a rapist. You'd be like a mental rapist.
And that's where the tears would come in. Once he had something where he asked me to look at his testicles because he had something wrong, and so he pulled back the sheets and he didn't have any pants, any underwear on, and I thought I was gonna die. He had the biggest set of balls I've ever seen in my life, and tons of red hair down there, and you know his balls were bigger than his penis, but I have a feeling he's a grower. Wow. But yeah, but
dude, some of this does sound like bullshit, I must say. Me Hawker.
Sadly, you're raped.
Hey, Eric, thank you for the kicks. Thank you. We've got an interesting comment from Me Hawker. It's hot. So, I want some juicy pussy to fill with my cream machine. Just the kind of thing I've come to expect from this fucking pervert, to be honest with you. You don't tell a hoe to open her mouth for the Garden of Eden. What's wrong? You don't piss on your wife? Dude, what the fuck is this guy's problem, dude? Oh my god. Oh my god, I got a message from Windows. Bill Gates trying to fucking cover up for himself.
I was sick for 3 days.
Sick?
Because I kept seeing the vision of his.
Yeah, you just got the balls flaunted and you can't have them. You would be sick too if you wanted that.
I can't have them.
And you can't risk that because it will ruin everything.
I don't want to ruin my marriage. I wouldn't want to ruin my marriage. And the funny thing is, he has a daughter who has come out gay. And I monitored his response to it, and it wasn't that good.
All right.
Okay. You were like judging to see if there's ever a chance in the future, but.
Well, there have been times where I think he was giving me permission, but I wasn't 100% sure. Like we'd be watching a movie in my room, and he'd fall asleep in my bed with just a pair of gym trunks on. Get up and go to your own fucking room, because right now you're gonna have to leave and I'm gonna have to jack off.
This guy's like a fucking gay rapist in waiting as well, isn't he? Oh my god, dude. Wake up with this. Oh, you fall asleep in bro's bed thinking it's safe, and you wake up with this slimy kind of film over your mouth and face. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Are you laughing?
Yeah, you're getting up.
You wake up and you're like, oh, fuck, dude. Jesus Christ, why does my asshole feel sore as fuck, bro? What the fuck? What's that wet slimy shit on my ass coming out my asshole? What the fuck? I shit myself. What the fuck? Lots of gay sex jokes today. Lots of gay sex comments, I must say.
That's right now. Yeah. We appreciate all the detail. It is terrible. I feel horrible for you. But you're very descriptive.
I can imagine that it's hard. I can imagine that it is completely hard to imagine, and it is. But just imagine something that you desire very strongly.
Yeah.
And that if you go without it for a while, then you want to eat all of it or have all of it. And that's when I would see 5 or 6 or 7 guys in a week or in a day. When I backed off for a really, really long time, I found that if I just fed the monster, gradually or periodically, and sometimes guys would shoot me a text or an email and ask if they could get together, if I was at home or was I in town, or and so sometimes those kind of repeat guys you feel very comfortable with. And of course we do the whole role play. Like who's coming over?
Yeah.
I want to come over and talk to you about life insurance. Oh, you're gonna wear your suit and tie? Yeah. And shoes? Yeah. Okay, don't put on any deodorant and don't wear any socks.
Jeez. Well, I think we have the best understanding of this dynamic that we could.
Yeah.
I feel like we could talk all day about examples.
Oh, yeah.
We do have to wrap up, but seriously, again, like, thank you for. You're one of the most honest guests we've had on the show.
Yeah.
And you've shared all
Very
these details
bizarre,
of your
dude.
life, and we appreciate it. And like I said before,
Well,
that's what makes this show possible.
And I got really scared the last time. I thought, what if some random person that somewhere recognizes my voice and asks my wife, hey, is he on a podcast? Is Larry on a podcast? Is Jim on a podcast?
Yeah.
So so I freaked out. It's like the guy knocks on my door and I tell him, this is not going to work today.
Yeah, no, I know. And this is a conversation that we want to have. So for everyone listening and watching, what he's referring to is we had it scheduled. He backed out, but then he came back to us. And like I said, we do appreciate it. And as we discussed prior to the call, you'll obviously remain 100,000% anonymous with your voice completely altered. So that's what everyone's hearing right now. But we do appreciate you getting back to us. And this was really opened our minds a lot. So, we thank you so much for
Open
that.
our minds, our
Okay, and
hearts.
thank you for letting me. I
and
feel
our
like I've
anuses.
unburdened myself to some degree.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that you feel that way too. Sometimes, people, when they have secrets
You're
like
the
this,
only-
we're the only people who know.
No, nobody else knows.
Wow. Well, we take that very seriously. So
Yeah,
thank you
thank
for
you.
choosing our platform.
All righty, well, thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Dude. Oh, fine, dude. What the fuck are you supposed to say about that after all that, dude? That guy's hella gay. That guy is bent as a 9-bob notes.
We're not laughing at him, people watching this.
I'm like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
It just, the second wind of that conversation just really took us by surprise, and he's quite the storyteller.
His
So
biggest set of balls really set me off.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't.
he'll understand, I think.
Yeah, I hope
He
so.
called us out. Are you guys laughing? Yeah, dude, we're laughing.
It's like, you better go to your fucking bed or I'm going to jack off. Yeah, look, also, this is insanely fucked up, which he knows.
Yeah.
You're fucking 1,500 guys while you're married is pretty
Married
brutal.
with kids, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my question still kind of remains. Where I was just like, considering all that you could lose if this gets out, like, is it worth it? Which I feel like is an easy question for a lot of people, but this kind of like fucking at this clip is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Like maybe it is worth it to him.
I would say, yeah, I think, he said the compulsion, the desire, there's...
It almost sounds like an
he
addiction.
Yeah. I
It
don't
does
think
sound
he's
like addiction.
going to be able to stop this right now, but it seems like maybe he is toying with the idea of trying to live without it. But I don't know. How do you just...
I don't know.
You can't really go cold turkey from that, can you?
1,500 guys in 25 years.
And still racking up the points. Like, he's going to be in the league for a long time, I think. But
Addiction.
Come out to like
Addiction.
but
Am I right?
what a wild dynamic to hear, like, just a bunch of men identifying as
Yeah.
straight men.
I-
Straight, married men.
think about that too. He said about 1,500 guys in 25 years, and only 2 of them weren't married. So
Yeah.
all of these men, for whatever reason, are in seemingly heterosexual relationships.
Yeah.
You have to assume that their situation is similar to his, where it's like, I am straight,
Yeah.
presenting to everybody, but I like to have
Surely
sex
a
with men.
hard predicament.
that's-
Wives have to worry about their husbands meeting up with other women.
Yeah.
You got to watch out when he goes out with the boys. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
mean,
It's that, yeah, dude. 6 million cocks. Dude, really? 6 million cocks? That number seems awfully high.
is yeah. I wonder how common that actually is. I mean, it sounds like it is. And honestly, from the show, you even mentioned like the naked cuddler and the spanker, whatever. A lot of these straight men are seeking out men.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not the first time we've heard it.
Not at all.
First time we've heard it to this extent, but yeah, this is, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to classify it, but this is a thing. And there's a lot of straight men married right now that are just boning dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's all we know. We'll continue to investigate further.
gonna subscribe to
Yeah, I
this.
guess. I mean, I wish that, there could be more communication in these situations. Talk to your wives if you have these compulsions
Yeah.
instead of, probably going out and having sex with 1,500 men. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it.
Because like, I know it's hard for him to label these things, but like, this is cheating, this is having an affair at
Yeah.
like an extremely high level with someone that would be completely distraught if
Yeah.
they were to find that out.
Right.
And that's never cool.
No,
Bro.
but I guess you have.
Dude, this is like, this is good to do the last time. we're gonna get a lot of this, dude. This is the kind of channel that I need to save for Kick, because we could just go fucking hog wild watching this shit on Kick, dude. Slurs. Oh, dude. We're getting some good ideas for some good uncensored Kick tent, I would say.
We have to respect the honesty here, for sure, which we do, and we thank him for coming on and telling us his story that he's never told anyone. So, if anyone out there would like to be a guest on our show as well, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com.
I was a cock addict.
Just send us an email and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok
Hey,
at
lock
OPL
up, all right,
Podcast. You can
guys, am I
support
right?
at patreon.com/OPL show. And that's all.
See you guys next time.
Oh, mate, dude. Well, there we go, guys. There we go. Right, guys. That is the end of the normal stream today.